No one knew why the little boy kept coming to the park at sunrise. He never played, never laughed, and never spoke. He just sat near the old oak tree and stared at the gardener. Until one morning, the boy whispered, "I know what you buried here." Chapter 1: The Silent Boy. Bennett Gray was the gardener of Franklin State Park, a lush government-maintained place in the heart of a quiet town in Vermont. The park had flowerbeds like rainbows, paths lined with old oaks, and fountains that danced in the wind. Every morning at 5:30 a.m., Bennett arrived in his worn green overalls, cap pulled low, and hands already calloused from 20 years of soil and stone. He didn't like noise. He didn't like company. Just the plants and the peace. But 3 weeks ago, a little boy started showing up. Alone. Always at the same time as Bennett. He never made a sound. Just sat near the old oak tree, the one at the back of the park with roots thick like snakes and bark as dark as night. He'd sit cross-legged, a little backpack beside him, staring. Bennett tried not to notice. But the boy never missed a morning. Not even in the rain. And then one morning, just as the sun was turning the leaves gold, the boy stood up and walked toward him. "I know what you buried here," he whispered. Bennett dropped his rake. Chapter 2: Dirt and Memory. The wind caught the edge of Bennett's shirt as he stared down at the boy. He felt cold, though the morning was warm. "What did you say?" he asked. The boy pointed toward the base of the old oak. "Here. Underneath. You buried something. A long time ago." "You don't know what you're talking about," Bennett muttered. He turned away, gripping his rake tight. But his hands trembled. That night, Bennett returned to the park. He brought a flashlight, a shovel, and a fear he hadn't felt in 20 years. He dug beneath the tree, like he had that stormy night long ago. When he hit something solid, he stopped. A small, rusted tin box. He pulled it out, wiped it clean. Inside were 4 items: a blood-stained handkerchief, a silver locket, a plastic toy truck, and a photo of a woman. His sister. Chapter 3: The Visitor. The next morning, the boy was already waiting. Bennett approached him, the tin box hidden in his backpack. "What do you want?" The boy shrugged. "To know." "Know what?" "Why she never came back." Bennett's heart slammed. "Who?" The boy reached into his own backpack and pulled out a folded paper. He handed it over. It was a missing persons flyer. Dated 2003. Name: Valerie Gray. Age: 29. "She was my mom," the boy said. "And I think you know what happened to her." Chapter 4: The Storm of '03. Bennett hadn't spoken about that night in decades. His sister, Valerie, had been in trouble. A bad boyfriend. Drugs. Disappearing for days. But she always came back. Until she didn't. Bennett remembered her showing up at the park late one night, bruised and scared. He remembered yelling. The boyfriend showing up. A fight. A fall. A scream. And silence. He had buried the truth, like he buried that tin box, hoping time would rot it all away. But it hadn't. And now the boy was here. Valerie's son. Chapter 5: Digging Deeper. That evening, Bennett and the boy sat under the oak tree. "What's your name?" Bennett asked. "Eli. I didn't know about you. I found the flyer in my grandma's drawer. She raised me. Told me Mom ran away. But I saw the address on the back, this park. So I came." Bennett sighed. The sun was setting, casting long shadows. "Your mom was trying to leave that man. She wanted to start over. But he found her here. I tried to stop him. I swear." Eli stared at the roots. "Where is she now?" Bennett didn't answer. He just got up, walked to the base of the tree, and started digging again. Chapter 6: Beneath the Roots. It took 2 hours. And then they hit something. A top. Black. Heavy. Inside, bones. Eli covered his mouth. Bennett sat down in the dirt. I didn't mean for it to happen. I just didn't know what else to do. Eli didn't cry. Just looked at the remains for a long time. Then he said, "She deserves a grave." And so, they packed the bones in a wooden box, took it to the edge of the park, and buried her under the lilac bushes, her favorite flower. Chapter 7, The Police. Bennett turned himself in the next morning. The police came quietly. The whole town heard. The newspapers screamed. But Eli never left the park. He watered the lilacs every day. When asked why, he said, "Because someone should." Epilogue: The garden lives on. Bennett was sentenced to 8 years for unlawful disposal of a body and obstruction. Eli grew up, became a horticulturist, and when Bennett was released, an old man now, he found the park greener than ever. And a plaque under the oak tree. For Valerie. For truth. For growth. They planted a garden together. One for healing. And one that never hid anything again.